Anemone, if that's how you pronounce it, is a brand new 2025 film directed by Ronan Day-Lewis, who is the son of Daniel Day-Lewis. This was released in October of 2025, and it's been getting fairly decent marketing, I would say. It definitely has a trailer out there. It's definitely been announced, especially in the indie scene. This is an independent art house style film, and I've heard about it for about a month before it came out. I was really excited for it. As soon as I heard Daniel Day-Lewis's first film, he did a short before this one, which I did see on Letterboxd, but this is his first feature length. And Daniel Day-Lewis starring in it along with Sean Penn. I was sold instantly, so I just watched a trailer. Didn't mind watching a trailer for this one. Some films I'll avoid the trailer, some I'll watch it, and I was completely sold on the trailer. Now, with the reviews I've been hearing and the talks about it, and its reception and stuff like that, I was really surprised because it's really really mid. So a lot of people are liking it, a lot of people are not. Has like a 54 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.1 or something like that on IMDb, which I personally think is really low after seeing this film. But I went into it with neutral hopes. I was already sold myself, so it doesn't even matter how the film did. And basically, this is about two brothers played by Sean Penn and Daniel Day Lewis. Their names are Jem and forget Daniel Day Lewis's name. Damn. Um, but Sean Penn plays a guy named Jem. They're brothers, regardless. And Daniel Day Lewis basically is he lives off the grid. He lives in the forest. A lot of this film takes place in the forest. This is a super slow burn, which I'm wondering if people are not expecting. I'm wondering if people are going into this, thinking more of a there will be blood situation or something like that. But it definitely is a slow burn. And Lewis's character has lived in the woods for a long time, and his brother pays him a visit, and then it's a very talky film. So there's a lot of scenes with strong monologues and a lot of talking back and forth. There's some side characters as well, and this film does play out like a family drama, but where the family is kind of in separate places. You got the two brothers in the woods, where most of the film takes place, and then you got a mother and her son at home in the suburbs. It's not exactly specified where. This is an Irish film, and this other girl shows up that is kind of a love interest for the son too, but she's not on screen very long. And it's a character study. It's a character study of Lewis mostly, but as well as Sean Penn. And Sean Penn is heavy on the religion, and I don't know if he's Catholic or what's the other one? Catholic or Protestant? I forget. It's the two big ones of the UK, but Protestant. It's Protestant. I'm pretty sure Catholic and Protestant. Whichever, regardless, he's a religious guy, but Daniel Day Lewis has completely lost his faith, abandoned his family, and just went to live off like a hermit, basically. And he's very vocal about that. And there is a lot of sacrilege dialogue that Lewis displays on screen. There's one monologue in particular that he basically explains what he did to somebody who really wronged him when he was a little kid, and how he got his revenge on him in a sense. And he explains this in vivid detail, and it's like a 15-minute it's a 15-minute monologue. And I'll just leave it at that because you guys can go experience it for yourself. Just don't eat anything. I would suggest and recommend during that scene. But yeah, so like I said, it's a slow burn, and it's a lot of dialogue, and that's the kind of film you should be expecting going in, kind of thing. This is also art house in a lot of ways. Mostly it's a drama. There is like some horror and like some fantasy sprinkled in, with some kind of like dream-like sequences and stuff like that. But 99% of the film is fairly grounded, and it's very deep and very emotional and very, very dark, but realistic. Very realistic and very powerful story. And I really think this is an amazing first time debut. I think there's no issues with it in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. I think this film ended in a beautiful place. Albeit the climax kind of leaves some questions open with the confusing things, the art house things. This is an artsy film when it comes to its ending, but I'm talking about the very ending, like the final minute, is very, very powerful and leaves it off perfectly, I think. And of course, it's left off for questions. You're not going to get a very conclusive ending, of course. It's an art house film. But it's deep and it's heavy. It's heavy as hell. So if you need a shower or if you need a little bit of a breather after the film, totally understandable. But whatever Ronan Day Lewis produces or directs next, I will definitely be interested in and checking out. Also know that this is a fully Irish film, so the dialogue is heavy, very heavy. I did watch this without subtitles, but I understood it all. Like it's not like they're not talking to the point where you can't understand anything, but they are talking to the point where you'll want to pay attention, essentially. If you're outside of the UK, kind of thing. But yeah, um, it's Daniel Day Lewis in his home ground. So I mean, I really loved Anemone, and I think people I just think people should know what kind of film it is before going in because I think people are getting the wrong expectations of Anemone. And I read one comment just randomly on Letterboxd saying Daniel Day Lewis broke his back making this film because he was carrying the whole thing on his own. I just rolled my eyes. It was funny, but I rolled my eyes. And he's totally not carrying this thing on his own. Sean Penn kills his performance too, and so does the mother, and so does the son, and so does the girl too. She doesn't get many lines, but she does good with what she's there to do. But your two stars here are Penn and Lewis, and this film like it gives me when it comes to like the fantasy vibes and take this with a grain of salt because I'm not comparing it to this, but it's something like if you've seen Love Lies Bleeding, it's kind of metaphoric sometimes. It'll be a movie for like an hour and 45 minutes, and then it'll have a minute where it'll just change into something else, and it's like, whoa, what is this becoming? And then it'll go back to normal and be the film that it always has been. So, it reminds me a lot of that. I got Sling Blade vibes, except not in like the desert, but in the woods instead. But it's that big character study, and there's those big moments of straight dialogue, like I said, where in Sling Blade, when he's talking to the kid and stuff, and he's telling stories, you get a lot of that in Anemone, and I really appreciated it. So yeah, it's that kind of movie. So um, I think mostly I'm just surprised at the ratings it's getting, but I'm happy that the marketing is putting it out there and it is available to rent and stream. So it's a two thumbs up from me, and if you take my word for it, or if it sounds interesting from what I'm saying, and you love independent cinema, especially on the art house side, go check it out. Especially if you find it in a theater playing, definitely go check it out there. And subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I will be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on this channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.